Okay. Okay, we are alive right now.
He's here. Shoot.
Okay, hello, hey everyone. So, I won't be able to stream on Friday because I got something to do. Tomorrow and also Sunday I won't be able to stream. So I wanted to stream, Red Dead tonight for that. But I have good news. Tomorrow the Zero lore video is coming out. Tomorrow Zero lore video is coming out, so it'll be out. It's finally done. It'll be posted tomorrow. So you guys will have something to watch on the weekend. I just won't have enough time to stream on the weekend, but I'll have that video up. It'll be a good one. Hey Cube, what's up, man? Thank you for the super chat, man. Okay, you guys can join us. Just the posse's open. Nuke glitch? What the hell? On what is that? How do you own 50 Cent Blood in the Sand from back in the day? It's so expensive. Yeah, I have it on the PS3, but I spent $70 to buy it on the Xbox because I wanted to play the Xbox version. So so yeah, I spent $70 to get it, but I do have the PS3 version originally too. I probably might not have time for that, Mr. Green. I'll have to see. I now have endless Sopranos jokes in my algorithm. Hey, the best drip on YouTube. Thank you, Champagne. I'd love to see how long it takes you to kill Radical. I'd probably rage through it. I'm currently in a hotel because me and my family are getting evicted, even though we were going to pay the landlord. What grounds is the landlord using to evict you? Because he can't do that. If you're making payments, the landlord cannot evict you. He can't do something like that. PvP Cats talked about the glitch. Basically, horses don't come, ability cards don't show. Huh. Hello, professional. Hey, dude, how are you? Michael, there's a lot of people that are posting comments. It's hard for me to read everyone's comments. Yeah, Aiden, the landlord cannot evict you if you're making payments. They can't do stuff like that. The Soviet Union didn't collapse because of Gorbachev. There was a lot of other things that were going on. Thank you, Skiff. Loved your GTA 4 stream yesterday. Thank you. Oh yeah, Signs of the Times is definitely very creepy, especially with that that cult. Thank you, Aaron. It is very creepy. Because we were having financial struggles because of the death of a family member. We were behind on payments. We even got a third party agreeing to help us. Well, sounds like your landlord's a massive scumbag. This is there's I don't understand why he can't why can't he make some kind of payment arrangements with you like that? That's just so scummy, you know, something like that. But I will say, if you've been behind on payments, though, depending on the state, he may have grounds to evict you. I'm not on his side or anything. I'm just saying is that depending on the state that you're in. But I would research your local laws and see about that. But that's just really scummy. That is right there, and especially after a family member died. That he's doing stuff like people like there's one thing when it comes to running a business, but then there's also something called honor, and I think that people need to have honor these days. A lot of people, unfortunately, they don't have honor. It's just all about money, and money isn't everything. It's not how you do things. I'm a landlord too. I own 2 rental properties. I would never do something like that. Like I would just always try to find some way to work with them. Like that is just that is just disgusting. That's evil. That is because the landlord was having financial struggles. That's why. Well, that's on him. You know, that's not on you. You know, you offered a payment plan to him. He should just. That's. That's messed up there, Aiden. No, I've never heard about Glenn Miller, Fuji. Pat, you seem like a great landlord. Well, thank you. At 3 minutes, deliver the target. At 3 minutes. What would you want an Xbox to add in their controller next console? Honestly, they don't really need to add anything. I'm fine with the Xbox controller the way it is. What controversy at PlayStation? Was the Soviet Union's size a major factor in its collapse? Oh yeah, definitely. Why did the Allies and mercenaries playground destruction let you work for them if you kill their soldiers? Because all they care about is getting the missions done. That's it. They don't even value the lives of their own men. My least favorite video game character? What, you mean like a character that I really despise? Probably Dimitri in GTA 4 or Micah in Red Dead 2. Tino is also really bad in Mafia: The Old Country, yeah. PlayStation said you cannot own games if you're connected to the internet. What? Watch me. I have a physical, you know, I have a physical collection. They're not going to tell me I can't own something just because I'm not connected to the internet. Yeah, I was Liskiff. Yeah, I am wearing winter clothing on this character, but we might go up a little bit in a moment. I've
killed before, and I'll gladly. Whoa! It's over. Damn you!
Hey Pat, it's been a while. I quit my job recently. I just can't take working a 9 to 5 anymore. I hope you're having a great Thursday. Yeah. Thank you, for Ferris for being a member of my channel for half a year. And yeah, you know, 9 to 5s are, like, literally, destroying you. Like, it's like, I think that everyone should diversify their income and try to have income from different sources, not be just dependent on one. And it's like the ultimate dream is to be self-employed, you know, to work for yourself. I have a good feeling after we get our stuff back, the landlord will sell the house. I'm in California. I know it's illegal for a landlord to sell a house after evicting a tenant. I would still talk to a lawyer, and, like, see if the landlord violated any kind of laws there. What's a 9 to 5? It's a 9 to 5 is a stereotypical job in America. It's basically, you know, that's like the most stereotypical hours are 9 to 5.
Hey, stupid! Out of the way!
Yay, we don't have tariffs on whiskey anymore. Totally what we asked for, am I right? Anyways, I'm quitting my job by August, but I want to go somewhere that's not food. I'm thinking Costco. Any advice? Yeah. Look, if you're used to working with customers, you will thrive in a place like Costco, because Costco will treat you way better than Taco Bell will. Costco will pay you better. They'll treat you better. They won't throw as much work onto you as like other places. Like Costco is the best retail company to work for, and of all the retail places, they're definitely the best. Like I've heard so many stories about Costco being so much better than so many other companies to work for. So the only problem at Costco is you might have scumbag supervisors in Costco, but the company itself is decent, and the company itself, their policies, they don't you know, screw their workers like other places.
All right.
But I wish you also luck, Ferris, and I hope everything, you know, works out for you. Thank you, Blinded Eagle, for the super chat.
Follow this. Some instructions. Payment will follow.
Wait, who said Stalin is a great leader, General? Who said that? I don't know. So if somebody's saying that Stalin is a great leader, I think they need to have their head checked. What will my next playthrough be? SOCOM 3. I already recorded it, but I think I'm going to post it early tomorrow in the morning, the first part. So why did Michael lie to Trevor by faking his death in the prologue? Well, Michael was, Michael thought that Trevor was dead. It wasn't that he necessarily lied to him. He thought that Trevor was killed too. Oh yeah, the swing set glitch was hilarious. I'm in LA and girls keep calling me short on dates. I'm 5'8". What should I do? These girls are shallow and I mean I want a girlfriend. I'm 30. Well, Chad, I'm not the best person necessarily to ask for romantic advice, but I will say this is if you meet somebody that is right for you, they will like you no matter what. No matter, you know, how tall or short you are, they will like you no matter what. So, like, if there's already somebody that's complaining about your height, you know, that's not the right person for you. So, like, you know, the right person will not care about your height. They won't care about something like that. And honestly, I will say is that, I don't even think you're really that short. There's people that are short, much shorter than you. Much shorter. So I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't worry about stuff like that. And honestly, there have been people throughout history that have been your height and have accomplished great things. So that's what I'll say about that. So don't worry about stuff like that.
Same as any man.
How did Brad end up on Michael's grave? Because they said that Brad was Michael. That's why. Because it was that was Michael's body. Like, the autopsy was faked and everything, and they said that that's Michael's body. If you did a playthrough of any open world street racing game, what'd you try? I know you're not a car guy. Midnight Club 3, if I was to play one. Midnight Club 3 holds a special place in my heart. It's a huge part of my childhood. It'd be Midnight Club 3 DL Gaming. And we do have emails about my family that is agreeing to pay and the landlord refusing. Okay, if you are, if you have a paper trail right there, Aiden, you have a paper trail. You have emails to the landlord stating that you are agreeing to pay and the landlord is refusing to take the payment and is still evicting you. I'm pretty certain that he cannot do that. I don't know how behind you were on the payments, so I cannot speak on everything. I'm not a lawyer, but is that you were willing to make payment arrangements with the landlord and the landlord is not willing to accommodate you on that. If I was you, I would look up, like, lawyers in your area. There are lawyers that specialize specifically in real estate, like landlord-tenant disputes, and there are lawyers that will, you only have to pay them if you win the case. So, like, they will only take cases that they think that they can win, but it doesn't hurt to basically go to one of these guys, get, like, a free consultation, like, show them the emails, and basically say, like, you know, this is what's going on here. The landlord is being unreasonable. We did make a late payment here, but we had a family member that passed away. You know, we tried to make accommodations to the landlord, and the landlord is just being a scumbag. So there are some lawyers that will, like, you know, take your case. So I would look into that stuff like that. But the landlord is doing stuff like that is like, you know, I would seriously look into, like, a lawyer. Because that is like I said, is scum, like scummy right there. That's not just scummy, that's an evil. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know which one of your family members that passed away. You have my condolences. But that is like evil, that like one of your family members passes away and then the landlord can't make accommodations when you guys are, like, you know, having financial struggles. Like that is like, you know, there's a fine line between business, making money, and then having honor. And I think that people need to have honor these days. Like, I would never do something like that. Like, I'm a landlord, I own 2 rentals, but that honestly just pisses me off. It just disgusts me. Like, you know, a landlord that cannot make accommodations with you, you know, for something like that. That is just, like I said, is that, it's evil, it's messed up, it's dishonorable. And thank you, Chad, for the super chat, too. Moral lesson, don't trust gold diggers. Yeah, well, that's what's so difficult to tell, is to tell if somebody's a gold digger or not. I know that one of the things I do know is that if you're dating somebody, do not bring up money. Don't bring up money. Don't do it. Because that's a really easy way to tell if somebody is a gold digger or not. And see if they ask you about money. I'm not necessarily saying to lie, but just don't tell them everything. That's basically what I'll say about it. Can you name some GTA characters who are influenced, broken, or pure evil? Well, broken is Nico. Nico, I think, is probably the best definition of a broken character, especially after what he's gone through. He's just broken inside. Evil, pure evil, best example, Dmitry Raskolov. Manipulative, no empathy, no compassion, killed his best friend, constantly betrays everybody. Very, very evil, would be Dmitry. Influenced, you mean like a character that's just, hangs out with the wrong crowd and stuff like that? I mean, maybe like Wade in GTA 5, like, was heavily influenced by Trevor. Like, that was just his, like, Trevor completely shaped his life around. You know, manipulated things in his life, killed his friends, too. Thank you, Andrew, Muchko, if I'm reading your name correctly. I have around 288 million in GTA Online. Is it plausible for me to hit 1 billion by GTA 6's release? Yeah, I think so. You know, how many, you know, we got what, it hit $1 billion before GTA 6 comes out. GTA 6 is coming out, what, how many days do we got until GTA 6 comes out? It's like 200 something days it's gotta be. So, you would basically have to make, you would have to make, like, close to $4 million a day in order to basically hit the billion, which would be a little tight, but you can do it. And especially take advantage of the double money events. So if you make like $4 million on GTA a day, yes, you can hit it by then. Thank you, Snowy M, for the super chat. The new PlayStation DRM policies? What are you talking about, the thing where you lose your games? Guess a quote. What have you been doing? Oh, Max Payne and Max Payne 3. Thank you, Isaiah, for the super chat. Thank you, Zay. Do you think Khrushchev was the best leader of the Soviet Union? The most moral leader of the Soviet Union was Gorbachev. Gorbachev had the most morals. But the leader who did the most for the Soviet Union, probably Khrushchev. Yeah, probably Khrushchev probably did the most for the Soviet Union. Like Stalin, all Stalin did was destroy. Khrushchev at least tried to rebuild. He did, like he made better housing for people. You know, a lot of the apartment buildings that exist in Russia today are from Khrushchev's time. Khrushchev also de-Stalinized the Soviet Union. He shut down a lot of gulags. He didn't shut down every gulag, but he shut a lot of them down. He ended the terror, the secret police, the terror, the mass murders, the forced labor. He ended up saving a lot of people, and he had Khrushchev had a lot of people shot that were part of Stalin's inner circle. So there was a lot of people in Stalin's inner circle that were guilty of some really horrendous things, and Khrushchev had a lot of them shot. So probably Khrushchev is probably the leader that probably did the most for the Soviet Union out of probably all of them. And the ironic thing about Khrushchev is Khrushchev gets a lot of hate in Russia today. So a lot of people hate him in Russia. They think that he's like a weak leader. But ironically is he actually did more for the Soviet Union than all of the other leaders.
Dumb son of a bitch.
Which Soviet leader is more responsible for its collapse, Gorbachev or Brezhnev? Chernobyl disaster, Soviet-Afghan war, massive military spending, that was all under Brezhnev's time. Is it possible to destroy the train in the game? No, it's not.
Keep your distance. Shit for brains.
The what Fallout 76, Fuji? Well, here's the thing is, here's what's really disturbing about that. Khrushchev did actually want to shut down all the gulags, he did. But the reason that he wasn't able to shut down all of them is because Stalin made the Soviet economy so dependent on gulag slave labor that shutting them all down would have crashed the Soviet economy. So that's really, just think about that. The largest country in the world ran on slave labor, the Soviet Union. So that's how dependent Stalin made the Soviet economy on gulag labor. But what Khrushchev did was he shut down a lot of them. He had guards replaced in these gulags, and he also improved like living conditions. And so like people were not dying in mass in the gulags under him like they were under Stalin. Like under Stalin, people were just dying like round the clock in the gulags. That's what my great grandpa, he was in a gulag. He basically saw a lot of his friends die. He ended up surviving it, but he saw a lot of people die. It was really bad. Do you play any mobile games? Not really. The only mobile game I really played was GTA Liberty City Stories. Am I wrong for thinking the Steam machine is just a regular PC that does nothing special? My friend keeps arguing it's a PC console hybrid, but it's not. I don't know, Craig, from Craig's List. I don't know that much about it. Like, I got that Steam Deck thing that came out, like, years ago. I got that thing a long time ago, but I never got into it. I just got bored of it. And then I know they have this new Steam thing going on, too. I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work, exactly.
What is your problem?
Chinatown Wars? Yeah, I guess Chinatown Wars. I did play mobile. Yeah, you're right. I'm there. Pro, hope everything is good. Have you seen the Michael Jackson movie? No, I haven't, Tommy Angelo. How have you been, Tommy? I haven't seen you in some time. What does Sam mean when he says, "Guess we'll have a good cry at your funeral" in in the final chapter of Mafia 1? He means that he'll show that he's sad, but he's not really sad. That's basically what he means. He means it's crocodile tears. Stalin was a terrible human being. Yeah, he was. He's a psychopath. What's your opinion on a GTA game set in the Southwest? In the Southwest? What, you mean like Texas? Is that what you mean? Do you think Khrushchev would have enacted market reforms if he had sat in the office for a few more years? Maybe. But honestly, Khrushchev wasn't a perfect person. He did do some bad things. Like, Khrushchev was responsible for the Cuban Missile Crisis. That was him. You know, he almost caused nuclear apocalypse in Cuba. Khrushchev was also responsible for the Berlin Wall. That was under him. He was also responsible for the Berlin standoff, where basically, like, Americans and Soviet tanks almost fired at each other. Khrushchev provoked a lot of that. So that was under Khrushchev's time. So he wasn't, like I said, a perfect person. He did bad things. He was a dictator after all. But he wasn't nowhere near as bad as Stalin. He was like, Stalin was literally 10 times worse than him. So, but the thing about Khrushchev is that Khrushchev was a more, how would I say, a leader that was more willing to talk, to have open dialogue with, where Stalin wasn't. Like Khrushchev, for example, what he did was he came to America and he had debated with I think it was Richard Nixon. He did a debate with him on live TV, capitalism versus communism. And basically what Khrushchev, like, the agreement was that the debate would be broadcast in both the Soviet Union and in America, and in both countries it was broadcast, and Khrushchev kept his word that it was broadcasted in the Soviet Union, so he didn't go back on that. Khrushchev also allowed an American exhibit in the Soviet Union. The American exhibit was basically an exhibit of, like, an American home. It showed what an American home looks like a kitchen, a living room, and stuff like that, and, like, Soviets could, like, come by and, like, see, like, this is the American exhibit, this is how Americans live. And stuff like that, which was, you know, way better than what they had. And then there was also a Soviet exhibit in America, but the Soviet exhibit, it wasn't really like an exhibit on how the Soviets lived. It was more like an exhibit on their science. Like, it was more on, like, their space missions and stuff like that. That's more what it was like. So yeah, Khrushchev was just Khrushchev was a more, you know, open dialogue leader. But the, what was it? In Metal Gear Solid 3, when I played Metal Gear Solid 3 for the first time, I was actually pretty impressed with how historically accurate they got Metal Gear Solid 3, because in Metal Gear Solid 3, they showed how the Brezhnev faction was actually trying to overthrow Khrushchev, and that was very much a real thing, that these guys were trying to get him out of power, and they did succeed. They got Khrushchev out of power, and they replaced him with Brezhnev. So that was very much a real thing. I was pretty impressed with how accurate the Metal Gear Solid Delta got that. They were actually pretty on point with a lot of that stuff. I mean, obviously the crazy super weapons aren't historically accurate, but like the whole thing about all the different factions, like what was it, the what was it, the KGB were supporting Khrushchev, and then GRU was the other Soviet secret agency was supporting Brezhnev. That was a real thing. The KGB backed Khrushchev, and then GRU backed Brezhnev, so that was accurate. I know that what's his name, Ocelot, is a GRU agent in Metal Gear Solid Delta, so they did get that right. But that uniform that they have, the uniform with like the black uniform with the red beret and the ski mask, that's not a real Soviet uniform. That was just something they created for the game. But that's not how GRU special forces dressed.
What do we have here? Got a cold cell all lined up for them. And one fair price for you.
What was Brezhnev like as a leader? A bit of more of a psycho. He rolled back a lot of the stuff that Khrushchev did. He also started the war in Afghanistan. That was under him, Brezhnev. So yeah, Brezhnev was not a nice man. Is Pro looking for an editor? Not really. I edit everything on my own. I do everything all by myself. All of my stuff. But maybe when GTA 6 comes out and I make like a bunch of GTA 6 videos because I'll be so overwhelmed, maybe I'll hit you up on that. But right now at the moment, no, I'm not working on it. Send me an email though. Send me an email. We might work something out when GTA 6 comes out. But that was but right now, no. I like to do everything on my own. My lore videos and everything, I just edit on my own. Okay, Polly.
What do you think you're doing?
I mean, I'm open to working with a few people, yeah. So.
Listen up, idiot!
Hey, Quickscopes, thank you for sponsoring my channel for 2 years. Yeah, I want to play Ace Attorney, the original Ace Attorney collection before GTA 6 comes out. Yeah, I want to do that too. Pro, thoughts on people glorifying Hitler and the Nazis on Instagram? Instagram is basically like, you know, it has some of the most dumbest people on there. Like literally is like just the social media. You will see communists and like Nazis all over like places like Instagram and stuff like that. Like the crap is just so toxic. It is. There is so much far left and so much far right propaganda on there. It's disgusting. Well, honestly, here's the thing: is a lot of people were saying that the Soviet Union was doomed to fail, but I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that, and I'm not a communist by any means, or even a socialist. The Soviet Union could have survived if it had adopted reforms like China did. Like, if the Soviet Union started doing free market reforms like in the 70s, like China did, they could have still survived. They could have, like, it could have still been the Soviet Union, and it could have been, like, the Communist Party that's in power. Like, it could have been, like, a one-party state like China, but it would have had more free market reforms. They could have survived if they had done something like that. But the thing about that is that the Soviets weren't willing to change. They weren't. They were basically stuck in the old ways. They thought that communism would succeed. They thought that capitalism was doomed to fail. That's what the Soviets believed. They thought that capitalism was going to run its course, but ironically, it was the opposite, where communism ran its course. Have you seen the game Easy Red 2? Isn't that a World War II game? I think it's on console. Isn't that a World War II game? Yeah, I see it, Minion Dave. You changed your profile picture. Thank you, Jolly. Where'd you buy your cowboy hat? Oh, this one, I bought this one in a local store. Oh, wait, no, this one... No, this one I did not buy in a local store. I'm sorry. I had that. It was another hat that I had. This one, this shirt I bought in a local store. This hat, no, this one I got on Amazon.
Hello.
What are your thoughts on Kanye West? I don't know what the hell is wrong with that dude. You know, that guy is just all over the place. He says a lot of the most extreme things ever. Like, I don't know what's wrong with him, honestly. He might have some severe mental issues. had a drone alert in my city yesterday. What, from the Ukraine war? No, I don't think that, Vanny. I don't think that, like, that AI is gonna, like, take over the world one day. I don't believe in that stuff. What I do think it's gonna happen is, I think that AI will destroy a lot of people's jobs and put people out of business and make people poor. That I do think. I think AI will make people poor, but I don't think that it's going to, you know, take over in some Terminator stuff or, you know, stuff like that. I don't think that's gonna happen. Basically, the AI is gonna put a lot of people out of work. You're seeing it's already happening to cashiers with the self-checkout. Soon, in the future, they're probably going to replace delivery people with delivery robots. That's probably what's going to happen. Drones and everything like that, that's going to be replaced. They're going to replace truck drivers with AI drivers. You know, that's all going to be replaced. Chat, why is the stream on Thursday? Oh, because I couldn't, I'm not going to be able to stream tomorrow. So I wanted to do it a day early. Do you know that a lot of the Soviet soldiers who fought in Afghanistan were from Central Asian SSRs? The war exposed a lot of them to racism from their Russian superiors. Yeah, I'm well aware of that. I actually know a guy who fought in the Soviet-Afghan war. So my barber, that was in my town in New York, he actually fought in the Soviet-Afghan war, and he was actually from that region. The ironic thing about that is that when he was younger, he was a full-on communist when he was younger. He believed in the Soviet system so much, but now he's a capitalist and he's running his own business in America. How ironic, right? How funny. But he was, he's from Uzbekistan, by the way, so he wasn't Russian. He was Uzbekistan, he was my barber, and he talked to me about the Soviet-Afghan war. He talked to me a little bit about that. Dispatch, I want to play that eventually this year. I just can't give you an exact date because I got a lot of projects. Hey, buddy. Hey, Christine, how are you? Maybe to a degree, visionary. Do you know the tin can trap in World War I by Canadians where they threw cans of food to German trenches to trick them later on? They used grenades on them. That actually might be a war crime. That might be a war crime. Like, disguising food as, you know, making food into a weapon, that could very much be a war crime. It's not a biological weapon, because it's not like you're poisoning them, but literally you're blowing them up. So literally that actually might be a war crime. Is like literally disguising food cans as explosives. That actually could be a war crime. Depending on who tries it, who looks at it, yeah, it could be. Yes, I think I know now. Easy Front, Easy Red 2. Yes, I think I know the game now. Why does communism not work? Because it's against human nature. What is the incentive to produce anything if you're not getting paid for it? Like, if I lived in a communist country, I would just be the most simple job that I can get. The most simple, easiest job I can get, I'll do it. Like, literally, I will just, you know, be a janitor or anything else. Like, literally the most simplest thing ever. Like, I'm not gonna bother going to school or college or any of that stuff if I'm not getting paid for it. So if I'm not getting, like, an actual, like, good reward for it, I'm not gonna bother with anything else. I'm gonna do this most basic thing I can. The most basic thing with the least amount of work. How can you distinguish what a war crime even is? I get in it, killing innocents is a war crime, but I'm talking about military versus military. Well, here's the thing is, a lot of times people think that war crimes only involve killing civilians, but that's not necessarily true. War crimes can very much be against other soldiers. They can very much be it. So it really depends on what court is looking at it, you know, what the situation is. But what that basically was is disguising food as an explosive, like trying to offer somebody food and then making it into a bomb. That could very much be a war crime. So, like, there are certain things that you cannot do against enemy soldiers. Like, for example, like, if you see a medic picking up an enemy soldier, like an enemy medic picking up an enemy soldier, you cannot target the medic. That is a war crime, too. The Japanese like doing that. They like, you know, targeting medics, for example. So, even if it's, like, against other soldiers, it could still be a war crime, very much. I mean, like, using chemical warfare, for example, is a war crime, too, even if it's just against other soldiers. Didn't stop Japan from doing it in China during World War II. They used chemical weapons there. But, yeah, I get that, like, you know, disguising, like, food as bombs is not, it's not, like, as bad as, like, gas or other stuff, but that could still be a war crime. You know, doing stuff like that. Because, like, for example, what that might do is that might fall under some kind of spying. Because if you wear an enemy uniform, you are not protected under the Geneva Convention. You're considered a spy, and you could actually get shot for that. Do you think the Soviets were on the Axis side in 1939? Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. They weren't, like, full-on allies, but yes, they were more pro-Germany than they were pro-West. What firearms would you main in the real life in the Wild West? Probably a lever-action rifle would probably be my go-to weapon. That's probably what it would be. What's the most interesting part of South Carolina history? I'm from South Carolina. Probably the most interesting part of the South Carolina history, I would say, is that guy, the swamp rat or the swamp fox. I forget what his title would be, but there was basically like a Revolutionary War like fighter. He was like a resistance member. He led like a campaign against the British in South Carolina, and he did like a lot of damage. Like he harassed British patrols. So he did a lot of damage, disrupted British supply lines. If anybody's ever watched the movie The Patriot, Benjamin in The Patriot is based on him. So, like, the guy Mel Gibson plays, he's a fictional character in the movie, but he's based on a real person. So that was, that's probably one of the things I could say that was probably interesting in South Carolina's history. No, I've never played Metal Gear Solid 5. Your thoughts on Roosevelt? Which one? There's two of them. Yes, Hitler died today. He killed himself in his bunker, bit in a cyanide capsule, and blew his brains out. I know war crimes was why the United States placed an embargo on Japan, which of course led to the attack on Pearl Harbor. Yeah, well, it was Japan's atrocities in Nanking. Like, they had killed a lot of people there. Well, Tony killed hundreds of innocent people when he blew up Fort Staunton, so yeah, he could be considered one of the most evil characters. Well, I'm not surprised by that they neglected a lot of Soviet veterans of that war. The Roosevelt that ordered the soldiers to pull out from fighting? What are you talking about? What's that cohesive? Can you say it again? What's your question? Is Tony Cipriani a terrorist? Well, what he did could be considered terrorism, but the definition of terrorism is to committing crimes for a political purpose. Tony didn't really commit crimes for a political purpose. He just did it just because he was getting paid.
Let's hope I don't get myself free.
Why did the French start a second intervention in Mexico in 1863? They were stupid. You know, the French were basically trying to... Napoleon III was trying to create another French empire. And he promised that France would not start wars against its European neighbors. But he didn't say anything against the Americas. And that's basically where he started that. They tried to turn Mexico into a colony of theirs. I could have super chatted Pro, but my country can't do that. So I compromised. I do backseat gaming with him instead. That's a Sopranos joke. Well, yeah, that was Tony's fault, is that he was too loyal to Salvatore. You want to try something new? I understand, Blinded Eagle. Well, I'm sorry then, Cohesive. I didn't see that. If I saw that, I would have removed him. But that is, I'm sorry that happened. Yeah, SOCOM 3 will be tomorrow. Fire Team Bravo might be a little hard for me to do because I'd have to figure out a way to get the PSP emulator running, but SOCOM 3 I can do. And I can do SOCOM Combined Assault if that helps, Josh. What's even more crazy about the landlord is when the third party on my family's behalf was talking to the landlord hung up on him. What? That's no, that is very, you know, this is not how you act. That is that's very dishonorable. Hi, Tommy. What new games are you playing this year? I will do a playthrough of the new Modern Warfare game this year, because Modern Warfare 4 is coming out. I will also do a playthrough of Ace Combat 8. Ace Combat 8 is probably the game I'm looking forward to the most besides GTA 6. So Ace Combat 8, I'll do a playthrough of the story. Really looking forward to it. Were the Nazis capitalist? That's a little bit of a difficult question to answer. The Nazis definitely weren't communists. But the thing about the Nazi economy, here's the thing is, were the Nazis capitalist, to answer your question? No. I would not say so. So, Nazi Germany had a freer economy than the Soviet Union. Like, people owned private property, and there was rich people in Nazi Germany. There was companies, you know, stuff like that were private, but it was very much a controlled economy. It was not a free market capitalist economy. The difference between communism and Nazism is that under communism, basically everything is owned by the government. There is no private property whatsoever. Under Nazism, you had things like private companies, but the idea was that the companies would benefit the state. The companies were primarily meant to benefit the state, the Third Reich, you know, the government of Nazi Germany. That's what the companies were primarily meant to benefit, is they were meant to benefit the state. And so Nazi Germany was very much a controlled economy. I would not call it a free market capitalist economy. That's just what I would say, is that the state very much controlled the economy. The state very much controlled corporations. They would shut down companies all the time. So no, I would say it's not.
A little out of the ordinary, yes? A bientôt.
Your moonshine is ready? Okay. Okay. How you been, Patrick? I've been good. I played Halo? Yeah, I've played the Halo games before. Capitalism has always been the best system out there. It's not a perfect system. It has problems, so it's not to say that there's no bad things happen under capitalism. But you know, comparing it to everything else, you know, look at everything that's been tried. You have communism, socialism, fascism, you know, feudalism, mercantilism. You have theocracy also. So like there's like so many different economic systems that have been tried, basically, and it is capitalism has always been the one that has survived the longest and has always, you know, built wealth the most in countries. My mom's landlord used to show up unannounced. That is illegal. That is illegal. They can't do that. That is I'm a landlord, so I can tell you, you cannot do something like that. That is very much a crime. Every state has different laws on it, but it's generally a crime everywhere. The reason that people don't stop landlords from doing this is because most tenants do not know the law. And that's what it is, that most landlords are counting on tenants not knowing the law. But here's the thing is that landlords will a lot of times say, it's my house, so I can come in whenever I want. No, it doesn't work like that. You have a contract. The lease is the contract. You work with the landlord, and you basically pay the landlord, like, you know, a fixed rate every month, and in exchange, you get to live on the property. But that contract also comes with conditions. And one of those conditions is that the landlord cannot just come into your property. You're in Iowa. Okay, so Iowa is a more pro-landlord state, but they still can't do something like that. So basically, a landlord can come onto the property and they can inspect the property, but they have to give you notice. And in most places, it's between 24 to 48 hours. So usually they'll give you 24 to 48 hours notice. That's what the policy is. So the landlord can't just show up whenever they want and say, I want to walk in the house right now. No, it doesn't work like that. So they have to give a notice. It's either between like a 24 to 48 hour notice, like I said. So, you know, that is that's illegal what they did. They can't do stuff like that. Do you think Pulaski was worse than Tenpenny personality-wise? Maybe. It seemed like Pulaski actually enjoyed doing the stuff that he was doing. Can I play Black on the PS2? Yes, that is actually a game people have requested. I could give that one a try. Zero video tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow will be the zero video, yes. I don't know our tenant as well as my dad or brother, but would it be illegal if I went by because I'm curious to see what it looks like with or without notice? Yes and no. So, here's the thing is, if a landlord, there's nothing that's illegal necessarily about the landlord coming to the property, like basically like, you know, going up to the property, like knocking on the door or ringing the doorbell and be like, hey, what's up, you know, talking to the tenant. But it is illegal for the landlord to come by the property and then try to force their way in. That's basically it. They can't really do something like that. And also is, I would not go by the property unless you are telling them. Even if you're not planning on going inside, because a lot of tenants take that very personally. They will get very upset if you show up unannounced. They see that very rude. So I would not do that. I would personally just tell them, like, hey, I'm coming by tomorrow, like, you know, can we talk or something like that. That's basically it. Don't just show up to them unannounced. I wouldn't do that.
Ever think maybe there's life out in space? Other humans from different planets?
You've been sampling shine? Jeez.
Liberalism is against government control, right? Not so. What liberalism basically is, it's basically change. That's pretty much what it is, and change can really be anything. So like, you know, for example, like the founding fathers in America were liberals, but liberals by the standards back then. They not by like the standards today. So like liberals are just people that just they wanted change, so they just want to do something differently. Conservatives are people that basically want to keep the old system, so whatever the old style is. So like the founding fathers were like classical liberals, you know, more free market people. They didn't want government intervention in the economy. So it really all depends. So like a liberal is basically somebody that, you know, wants change and stuff like that. But a liberal is not necessarily a left-wing person. A liberal can also be a right-wing person. So it really it really depends on the society, the culture, the country, the history, because liberals in different countries have different views on it. You're a respectable landlord. Thank you. Yeah, I want to visit Anchorage too. I really want to go. But it's like, I don't want to pay this much for an airline ticket right now. This stupid war is driving the cost of everything up. Pro, do you associate Italian, irredentism with Italian nationalism? The former was a desire to annex lands that Italy claimed were theirs, like Dalmatia and Istria, and Italianize those lands. That is Italian ultranationalism. That is what that is specifically there, Gunner. And I don't like that, because a lot of the territories that Italy claimed were theirs were not theirs. They actually, the majority of people that lived in on those lands were Croatian or Slovenian, and the Italians did not treat the Croatians and the Slovenians well. They didn't. They basically treated them like garbage, and they tried to destroy the Croatian and the Slovenian languages. Remember the time Tony Soprano was on Sesame Street? Yeah, that was just, well, it was James Gandolfini, but it's still really funny. It is. What, how you're not going to be able to own games in the future? I think it's stupid. It's ridiculous. PlayStation is saying you need to be online to play games. It's dumb. How smart was Gus in Breaking Bad? Very smart. One of the most intelligent characters. Well, yeah, they realized a lot of that stuff was it wasn't worth it. I will say this, like, Italy, I am so proud of the Italians for, like, abolishing their monarchy, because, like, when they had that referendum, like, right after World War II, it was, like, 1946 or 47, and it was, like, the majority of people voted to kick the monarchy out. One of the best decisions ever. Like, Italy dodged a bullet with that. They did dodge a bullet with that. Like, literally, the monarchy had ruined Italy so badly. Like, the Italian royal family was so incompetent, they were greedy, they were corrupt, they were just scumbags. They had caused so many problems in Italy. Like kicking them out of Italy, one of the best things the Italians did. Literally one of the best things. If I was an Italian, 100% would have voted to kick them out of the country. Like, they ruined Italy so badly. They ran that country into the ground. It was 46, yeah. Why didn't the king stop Mussolini? The king was the one who put Mussolini in power. He was the one who gave Mussolini power in the first place. And here's the thing is, the king of Italy was a piece of crap. King Emmanuel, that guy was a massive loser and a piece of crap. If you want to know why he was such a terrible leader, he got Italy involved in World War I, and he basically promised that Italy would have all this glory, and that, you know, we would be, you know, a thriving empire, and we would get all these lands back from Austria. And while Italy ended up winning against Austria-Hungary in the in World War I, here's the thing that happened. There was towns that were blown up in Italy after World War I that still weren't rebuilt. It was like the 1920s, so like the war had already ended years, and the monarchy didn't fix it. They didn't fix railroad tracks, rail stations that got blown up. They didn't fix towns, schools that got blown up. The infrastructure in Italy was falling apart. Italy started going through a recession in the 20s. It was bad. And a lot of Italians were pissed. They were like, why did we fight this huge war in World War I and we didn't get anything out of it? And so they were really mad at the monarchy, because the monarchy just used it for self-benefit, just to get more land. But they didn't really help the common man or woman at all. And what ends up happening is the king was in danger of being overthrown. There was an anarchist movement that was very strong in Italy, and the king was basically scared of him getting actually overthrown. So what ends up happening is Mussolini, he formed the Black Shirts, and he had this march on Rome in the 1920s, and Mussolini had basically told the king, you know, make me prime minister, and I'll fix all of this stuff. I'll make the people happy, and I'll make all these problems go away. And the king made Mussolini prime minister, and that's basically, you know, where everything goes after that. So that was it. So the and I will tell you, he also forced kids in the mines. Yes, child slavery did exist under the Italian monarchy, and the monarchy did nothing to stop that. They didn't do anything to stop that from happening. And here's the thing is, when the Italian monarchy switched sides in World War II, and they had Mussolini arrested, they didn't switch sides because they realized that Mussolini was wrong. They only switched sides after they lost Sicily. So after Sicily was taken by the Allies, the king realized, oh crap, we're going to lose this war. The Allies are going to push up here and get rid of me. So the only reason the king switched sides and had Mussolini arrested wasn't because he realized that, you know, Italy, Mussolini and Germany were wrong. He switched sides only to save himself. That was the only reason. He's an opportunist. Like I said, Emmanuel was a terrible king. And what ends up happening is, after the war, there was a referendum done. And the king, what he did was, he had resigned, and he put his son Umberto in charge. And he was hoping that his son would be more popular, because he knew how unpopular he was, but people weren't buying it. And people voted to abolish the monarchy. So when the Italians voted to abolish the monarchy, it's one of the best decisions they've ever made. It really was. Like, literally is, they dodged a bullet. Because the monarchy would have just ruined Italy. Bro, the reason why I despise Vietnamese nationalists was because the government pushed this mindset where being a nationalist, you have to love both the country and the party, and also their racist views. Well, I would frame that more as ultra-nationalism, not necessarily nationalism, because I don't think that nationalism in itself is necessarily a bad thing, because the idea of nationalism is, you know, you love your country, you do what's best for your country. Like, a lot of famous people throughout history that were good people, honorable people, were nationalists. Like, George Washington, for example, was a nationalist. A lot of the American founding fathers, for example, were nationalists. So there was, like, Teddy Roosevelt was a nationalist. You know, he's one of the best presidents we ever had. You know, Ulysses S. Grant was a nationalist. You know, he was a great president as well. But ultra-nationalism is different, where ultra-nationalism, it's this view where they, not only are they love their countries, but they actually think that other countries are inferior to them. And they think that they should basically rule over other countries. It's basically imperialist, fascist. That's what an ultra-nationalist is. This idea that you have to be loyal to the party in order to, like, love Vietnam, that's so stupid, and that's, you know, really toxic as hell, that they're literally mixing stuff like that. And also, during the Vietnam War, I'm sure you know about this, the NVA promoted a lot of people not based on their talent or their merit. They promoted people in the NVA based on loyalty to the party. So how loyal you were to the Communist Party of Vietnam, that's how you would get promoted. It wasn't about how skilled you were, how much you could accomplish. It was about how loyal you were to the party. And it wasn't just Vietnam. A lot of communist countries were like this. You know, my parents' country was like this, the exact same in Eastern Europe. It was that it was a communist country as well. And it was that you weren't promoted based on your, you know, talent, what you could accomplish. You were promoted based on your loyalty to the party. It was your loyalty to the Communist Party. That's what you were promoted based on. So it's A lot of that stuff is a lot of that stuff is really crappy, and it destroys countries. It does. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll play Vice City Stories before GTA 6 comes out. I definitely will. Pro, most Vietnamese ultranationalists view the Cambodians and Laotians as inferior. I'm very well aware of that. I know that. Yeah. I mean, like, you know, you think the thing is that what a lot of people don't know is that a lot of people think that Vietnam, for example, is heroic because they got rid of Pol Pot, which Pol Pot was a psycho dictator and Vietnam invaded and Cambodia and got rid of Pol Pot. But the reality of the situation is that Vietnam put Pol Pot in power. They were the ones who put Pol Pot in power. They funded the Khmer Rouge, which was Pol Pot's communist regime, and they helped him take power. And then when Pol Pot came to power, he murdered 2 million Cambodians. And the Vietnamese communists, they didn't do anything. So, like, when Pol Pot was genociding his people, they didn't care. They did not care at all. The only reason that Vietnam invaded Cambodia wasn't to stop Pol Pot's genocide. It was because Pol Pot's troops crossed into Vietnamese territory and started massacring Vietnamese villages. That's why they invaded. They didn't invade to stop Pol Pot. And so, basically, what the Vietnamese government did is they invaded Cambodia, they got rid of Pol Pot, and then they acted like they were heroes for getting rid of them. So imagine how stupid that is. They helped this psycho dictator come to power. The psycho dictator ends up murdering millions of Cambodians. Then Vietnam invades, and then they act like they're heroes for stopping him when they really helped put him in power in the first place. It's like a lot of that crap is just it's stupid. I wish people would read history more. It's just like there's so many people out there that they think that like Vietnam is so heroic for stopping Pol Pot when they don't even realize that they put him in power in the first place. What's the best and worst Call of Duty game? I think the best old Call of Duty game is World at War. I think the best modern Call of Duty is probably Modern Warfare 2019. I think the worst Call of Duty is probably Black Ops 7. Is Ireland a rich country? Yeah, it is. It has very high standards of living. Yeah, and I will tell you, that crap is just stupid, Adrian. The CIA, to be fair, is an evil organization, it is. And the CIA have done some pretty evil things. But when I hear like communists say that the CIA put Pol Pot in power, that's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Pol Pot was a communist who hated America, and literally is like that. It makes no sense for the CIA to support somebody like Pol Pot like that. It's just a stupid conspiracy. There are conspiracies out there that the CIA did help fund Pol Pot when Vietnam was fighting against them. To a degree, some of that is true, but the reason that they were doing that was because Vietnam was fighting against Cambodia. That was the primary reason, was to hurt both Vietnam and Cambodia. But the CIA were not responsible for Pol Pot coming to power. That was literally, it was communists that were responsible for that. China and Vietnam played a huge role in Pol Pot coming to power, so they have much more responsibility for that than America does. What if you teach more true history, but you make the youth just not care? Well, most of the youth don't care. Most young people, they don't care about history anymore. That's the sad thing. Are you perhaps going to play more Half-Life soon? Maybe opposing forces as the HECU? I recommend using the HD pack with this, even if it's different. Yeah, I still gotta do the Half-Life DLCs. I gotta do those. You know, people have been requesting those, so yeah. Thank you, Jolly. My favorite mission in Medal of Honor Warfighter. Oh, it's probably the one where you're doing when you're chasing that terrorist through like the car chase in Pakistan. That's probably, I don't remember the name of that mission. That's probably your favorite mission. Did I watch The Last King of Scotland? I did. I watched that movie a long time ago, but yes, I remember that movie. It's about Idi Amin, and the doctor in the movie is not a real person, by the way. The Scottish doctor, He's not a real person. But a lot of the stuff on Idi Amin's rule and his rise to power, that was very much a real thing. Idi Amin did have an obsession with Scotland. That part is historically accurate. He admired Scotland. He loved Scotland. It was really creepy because he claimed that he was the last king of Scotland. So literally, that is actually what he claimed. He's like, I'm the rightful king of Scotland, which is, the whole thing was a bit creepy. But Amin was a psycho. He was like, that guy had destroyed,
You're a dead man.
destroyed Uganda.
What a day, huh?
Bro, didn't Harry Truman establish the CIA? I know the CIA was established right after World War II, so it might have been during his time. It was the OSS became the CIA. But the thing is even if Truman did establish the CIA, you can't blame Truman for the bad stuff that happened afterwards, because Truman had no idea that a lot of that stuff would end up happening. Because, like, the whole idea of the CIA at the time wasn't necessarily a bad idea, having, like, this, large government agency that is there to protect America and, stop the Soviet Union and rival the KGB. So it's not necessarily that the CIA was a bad idea at the start. It's just how it went down. It turned into like a power-hungry organization that controls large parts of the government. That's essentially what the CIA is. The CIA is essentially the fourth branch of government, and it's an unelected branch of government. That's really what it is. But it's it has so like I wouldn't blame Truman for the bad things the CIA did, because he had no idea, wouldn't have had an idea that stuff would end up happening.
Gonna leave you with then go up there. You should have left well enough alone. What? Looks like you wanted this. Oh my God!
I'm not sure. I can't speak on it, Vanny, because I don't know that lore.
Ain't my problem.
Maybe you can make that argument, General, but for read Starry Night's comments, what's his question? History is all gone. Have you heard of the let the past be the past? Yeah, but unfortunately, there's a lot of people that can't let go of the past. I'm sorry I didn't see your comment earlier. Thoughts on the dictatorship in Turkmenistan? Turkmenistan is one of the most psychotic dictators ever. The dictator of Turkmenistan recorded a rap music video. Can you believe that? Like a rap video. That's ridiculous.
Well, shit.
I guess because she was still family, Aaron. Make sure to press the like button. Thank you, April. It was a good one. I wish that they would have continued Medal of Honor Warfighter Gunner. Yeah, we could, General. You mentioned the guy that punched holes in your wall and was screaming. Yes, that was when I was a kid. There was a psycho tenant in my parents owned a small apartment building, and there was a guy that we had that was a psycho tenant that did that. He punched holes in the walls and he would scream all night. It was not a pleasant experience. And my room was right below him too, so I heard him screaming, and it terrified me.
Oh, come on! Again? Good business. Damn good business.
Any new videos coming out for GTA 5 Online? The next video I make for GTA 5 Online, I want to make a video perhaps the top 5 best things that Rockstar has done for GTA Online. I haven't done a top 5 in a long time, so I think it'd be right up my alley to do another one soon. Hey, do you know how to fight? No. I feel like you don't ask people to subscribe anymore. Well, I always tell people in my videos, if you enjoy my content, subscribe to me, but I'm not gonna be, you know, begging for subscribers or demanding subscribers. I don't do stuff like that. I think that stuff like that comes as dishonest and disingenuous when you do stuff like that. I feel that if people like your content, they'll just subscribe to you. If they like you as a person and they enjoy your stuff, I don't think, like, you know, constantly asking them to subscribe is really gonna do anything. Yeah, well, I mean, almost every leader in history is a hypocrite to a degree. Let's skip. Imagine 50 Cent and Eminem went to Turkmenistan and causing chaos. What, like 50 Cent Blood in the Sand 2?
Impatient, ain't you?
What's the worst and best mission in Red Dead Redemption 2? I think the best mission in Red Dead Redemption 2 is the final mission, American Venom. If you're asking me what I think is the worst mission in Red Dead Redemption 2, I don't really know. I don't. Red Dead Redemption 2 doesn't really have that many bad missions. Well, yeah, he was exiled to Saudi Arabia. That was true about Amin. Have I played Freedom Fighters? Oh, I love Freedom Fighters. One of the best games I ever played. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Arrow. Pro, I've been watching your playthroughs of Bully, and it's brought a lot of joy this month. Glad you liked it. Thank you, Arrow. Thank you, dude. Thanks for the super chat. What's my wish list for Red Dead Redemption 3? My biggest wish list for Red Dead Redemption 3 is an actual good multiplayer. I know I should be focusing on the single player, but I want a good multiplayer, because I already know single player will be good. Single player is always good in every Red Dead game. But, like, literally is, like, the multiplayer in this game had so much potential. Like, this game could have still been being updated right now. Like, if they had kept updates for years, like, they could have still been updating this game right now, and I could have been making a guide for you guys in the new DLC in this game. But it's just they treated this game so badly. They did. This game had so much potential and was abandoned, and it just pissed me off.
Pardon me.
I think Poland has 5 missions, Josh, but when we do the Polish part of the SOCOM 3, I'll translate a lot of the stuff that they're saying. I will. But I gotta say, a lot of the Polish dialogue in SOCOM 3 is actually really funny. It is. If you're a Polish speaker, you will laugh at a lot of the dialogue in SOCOM 3. But the people that actually speak Polish in SOCOM 3, they do sound like actual Polish speakers. So it's actually actual Polish speakers that are speaking it. Oh, it doesn't sound like foreigners at all. Hey, GB, how are you? Found the guy, okay.
Oh my God!
Well, that was easy. How often do you speak Polish? Usually every day. I speak a bit of it to my parents. How tall are you? About 6 feet.
God. What was that for?
He's no gentleman.
Oh God! I'm putting you down. Come on.
Oh yeah, there's that one mission where you can't be detected in SOCOM 3. It's like the rainy mission in Poland. That mission is probably the most difficult mission in the game.
Damn it!
Have I ever fought someone before? No. I did get attacked if that counts, but it doesn't mean that I didn't fight someone. I got hit right in the back. So there was it was when I was in middle school, there was a kid who knocked me to the ground, but he hit me from behind. I didn't even see it coming. I didn't even know he was behind me. But that was very cheap shot, complete cheap shot. I fired an American AK and a Polish AK, but a Polish American AK-47 and a Polish AK-74. Would you fight for the Contras or the FSLN? Neither. You know, they both suck. You know, one is basically a drug cartel, and the other one are a bunch of, you know, stupid socialists that are backed by the Soviets. They're both criminals.
You damn unit.
NTE, I haven't gotten the chance to play it. I might do a stream of it. Oh, you mean for Modern Warfare 2? Yeah, Gunner, they could. Yeah, Homefront are fun, and I can do Freedom Fighters also too. I could do that as well.
You must be dumb as a mule tying me up.
I'm surprised you know NTE. Yeah, the thing about NTE, I got invited to play that game 2 months ago, but basically the code that I got, there was an issue because I downloaded NTE 2 months ago before it was out, so I was able to play it, but I could not log into the game. The reason I couldn't log in is because the code that they gave me was linked to my business email. So like they emailed me, they asked me like, "Hey, you want to, you know, give our game a try?" I was like, "Sure." But the thing is that because it was linked to my business email, my PlayStation email is different than my business email, and because of that, it wouldn't work. So I could not. I could download the game, I could go in the menu, but I couldn't play anything, and that kind of pissed me off.
You gonna pay for this?
It didn't work like that.
You half-breed.
NTE is a, it's like an anime open world GTA-like game. It came out recently. It's free to play, I know that. How are the developers of NTE making money, by the way? There's gotta be like a microtransaction system or something, right? I will play Wildlands on probably the hardest difficulty when I play it.
Well, shit.
Job well and truly done. They're going to face a judge. How them coins look for your efforts?
Okay, sorry about that. I had a call really quick. I haven't decided on that one yet, Gunner. Speaking of Bully, petition to have Rockstar and 2K collab to make a Mafia prequel, but it's the style of Bully with, Joe and Vito growing up together. What, in, like, the, 1930s? That would actually be a pretty rough game, because they'd be growing up poor in the Great Depression era. Yeah, that's, Oh, yeah, we're almost at 1,000 gold. Yeah, you're right. We are. We're almost there. Bro, do you think the US, China, and India will get involved with what's going on with Pakistan and Afghanistan? I hope not. If China and Pakistan get involved, that's their issue. Or China and India. If China and India get involved in that, that's their issue. But like, I don't want America getting involved in that. Like, I'm honestly sick of getting involved in these other countries' affairs. So like, I think that every country should deal with their own problems, and I would be totally against getting involved in that conflict. So apparently Rockstar uploaded a hidden video to their channel today. Do you think it's anything other than Trailer 3? Ah, a hidden video to their channel today. It's probably most likely Trailer 3 then. How do people know they uploaded a hidden video? How did they even find that out? Thank you, Timaraku, for the super chat. Vasquez, Call of Duty Modern Warfare is a badass character. Yeah, and they changed it in Modern Warfare Remastered. They changed it because in the original one he was just dead right away, but in the remaster they changed it where he's still alive partially and then he dies. Most evil faction in SOCOM 1 and SOCOM 2. In SOCOM 1, the most evil faction, probably the terrorist group at the end in Turkmenistan. In SOCOM 2, it would be the Russian terrorist group. I forget their name. In SOCOM 3, the most evil group, I don't know. It'd be hard. It's hard. It's either the NAPF or the New Slavic Order. Either one of them. Because the New Slavic Order is the name of the Polish, terrorist group in SOCOM 3. They're pretty evil. But NAPF invaded another country, and committed war crimes. But at the same time, the New Slavic Order was developing chemical weapons. So they're all pretty bad. Force majeure, yes, that's what they were, Josh. By the way, Josh, do you remember that stupid mission in SOCOM 1, the POW camp? The POW camp is like the worst mission in the entire SOCOM series. Like, F that mission. Like, that mission is just so bad. That entire mission is such a bad mission because the enemy snipers that spawn in that mission, they will see you before they fully rendered in. So like, you won't see them, they won't render in on your screen, but they'll be there and they'll see you and they'll kill you before they're fully rendered in. Like, that mission is just so badly designed. It's such a bad mission. Like, I hate that POW camp. And you have to protect all the prisoners. All the prisoners, you have to protect them and get them to the helicopter, and if one prisoner dies, the mission just fails. I hated that mission so much. Like, POW camp just sucked so much. It's such a bad mission. Do you think the physical copy of GTA 6 will have full game data on it? I think it will, but some are saying it will be partial or download. It's probably going to be like most games where you put the disc in and it basically just lets you download the game. That's basically what it is. Why did Nico want to go after Florian Kravich and Darko Breivik? Well, he thought that Florian was responsible for the massacre because somebody sold them out to the village. And when he found it wasn't Florian, it was Darko. And thank you, Appalachian. Thank you for the super chat. When is it justifiable to get involved in another country? My opinion, when your country is being threatened. That's the only really logical explanation. It's like when your country's under threat, that's really the only, like literally another country's invading you or something like that. But in most cases, interventionism is stupid. Like, this current conflict is really stupid. But it's like, that's really the only time I can think of. The desert mission wasn't that bad, I don't think, Josh. It was pretty, you know, rough, but it wasn't that bad.
Who's over there?
Hey, there they are! I found them! Hey, turn around. Hey, I got a ball for you, Red.
Damn, these people always run away. Okay.
Oh my God, help! Oh no, please! Stop! Oh, Father above! Untie me or else!
I can't pick... Okay, there we go. Grove Street, Caton. Do I think I'd beat... What? I don't... well, I'm not gonna answer that question there, Krabby. Who's my favorite mercenary character in a video game? Matthias Nielsen in Mercenaries Playground Destruction, but I also like Boba Fett in Star Wars. He's technically a mercenary. A legendary animal, if I can find him.
Oh my God, help me, please! Arrogant bastard.
Like, install from the discs or download from online. It would probably be just install from the discs, Appalachian, but yeah, I know, like, a lot of times the disc isn't the, like, it's kind of stupid how you put the disc in and then you still gotta download the game. That's kind of stupid.
Untie me or else!
That one dead or soon to be dead? Oh, hell!
Cockless pile of shit!
I'm doing good. How are you, Spreezo? I don't believe this game is awful, but I don't see it's amazing. Yeah, I will say that...
In there.
I will say about this game that this game has potential. That's wasted potential. That's the best way I would describe Red Dead Online. Wasted potential. I think a lot of people agree with me on that. Alright. Can I answer Chase's question? What What was Chase's question? My favorite to least favorite 3D GTA game? My favorite 3D GTA game would be Vice City, probably San Andreas, then Vice City Stories. Then GTA Liberty Stories and GTA 3. I'm not muted, I don't think so. He was just gonna rat Johnny out and just move somewhere else, minion. That's what he was gonna do. I think not killing Darko, I think, is the better choice, too. I agree with you on that. Oh, Rebellion, the people who made, Sniper Elite made it. I didn't know that.
Oh, it's you. You did all right with that last job.
It's okay, Krabby. $50 in the GU to go to Myanmar and fight the, Tatmadaw. That's the Burmese army, yep. Do you think Batman is wrong for killing the Joker? Yeah, I mean, the Joker's a psychopath. I mean, Joker's dangerous.
Is a shotgun. They need to be taught a goddamn lesson. You hear me? They're camped down in Blackbone Forest. You go there and take out their supplies. Take my word. I'll pay you well for it.
Okay. Blame the Gotham court system. Yeah, no way. Yeah, I want to give it a try, medic. Watch Dogs Legion definitely wasted potential. I mean, the hacking was not as good in Watch Dogs Legion, and like the trains sucked. Like I wanted actual trains. Like there was no trains in Watch Dogs Legion. Like the subways is a fast travel point. It just wasn't fun. It wasn't.
You feel those
Got you in a noose. Your death in me. Oh no.
Okay, I'll see you, Kate, and take care, man.
Can't wait to see you dead, sweetheart.
Well, for me, it's about to be 11:30. Will I play the new Black Flag remake? Yes, I will. I'll give that one a try. Where do you think the next Watch Dogs game should be? Maybe like Hong Kong? I think that would be an interesting setting. No, I didn't know that, Marco. What's the Easter egg? What if Vito joined the Vinci family? All the problems could have been avoided. If Officer Hernandez from GTA San Andreas lived and exposed Tenpenny Pulaski or other corruption, what do you think would have happened to him besides Tenpenny go after him? He probably would have gotten a reduced sentence or possibly even immunity. Let's see here. Probably do Sergio Vincenza, yeah. Oh, you can. You could actually... You can buy a house in NTE? I didn't know that, Sultan. You might give the game a try. Can you, like, commit crimes in that game? Who was Jimmy's best friend in, Bully? Pete? What's your next lore video will be about? Zero. It's coming out tomorrow. It's a Zero lore video in San Andreas. But if after that, I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. I need to think about what I'll do next.
Goddamn anarchist. Sergio Vincenza. He ain't even American either. Did you know he was gonna kill the governor if they didn't find him out? And who can guess how many minds he poisoned, talking that collectivist nonsense? Stopping this loudmouth is what the law was made for. Ain't gonna be easy, though. I heard he's bedded in deep with a bunch of these zealots. Oh, and he's a former military sharpshooter, too.
My brother, liberty will be shackled at all cost. That is how government works. I used to use this rifle to fight for them, but now it is turned the other way. Whatever happens, we must be strong, amigo.
Okay.
Go out for some air. I'll be right back.
up. Maybe slow. Now is our moment. Defend.
What? You've got to be kidding me. That was on me there. Okay. A mustache and a mohawk? What? Yeah, that was my tactic. It's to rush the tower and then defend from there. Can I skip this cutscene?
My brother, liberty will be
I guess I
shackled
can't
at
skip
all
the
costs.
cutscene.
That is how government works. I used to use this rifle to fight for them, but now it is turned the other way. Whatever happens, we must be strong, amigo.
Oh, it's definitely extremely ironic, Gunner.
Go out for some air. I'll be right back.
I like to ring your damn neck. Knew they would come. Now, be patient. Liberty for the people.
Crap.
Struggle will continue. Untie me.
I'm gonna be the one that puts you in the ground.
There we go.
I am not your property.
Mafia 2 really needs a remake. Oh yeah,
Don't let them take me.
definitely. Guys, once you get his gang on, just start moving, just run.
This isn't the end. I will be heard.
Crap, all this, so much junk that's in the way.
You I'll shoot you a warrant.
Crap. His gang is all over the place. Okay.
My brothers! No! Here, my brothers! Save me!
My mom's birthday was a few days ago. Happy birthday to your mom there, Jabron Jones. I don't think that's America will ever become a multi-party country unless, you know, both the Democrat and Republican parties are broken up. That's the only way it can happen. The Triads or the Sindacos? Yeah, I could do that. Maybe I'll do it on the Nang Boys next. That I could do it on them.
Hand me over to your masters. They hold the power. You are just a serf.
Toss them in the cell. We'll settle up.
Okay. Thank you, Jolly. But, I guess I'll be wrapping up the stream here, guys. I know it's ending a little early today, but, I gotta do something, on the weekend. I'm be taking a trip, so I'm, not gonna be, available to stream on Sunday either. But I'll stream GTA probably on Monday, and what we'll do is, I'll have the Zero Lore video for you guys tomorrow, and also SOCOM 3 Part 1 tomorrow. Also, we'll do that.
This one's gonna be.
And I'll answer any questions before I go here, if anyone wants to ask me anything.
There's your money.
I don't know. I think the starting station, Gunner, the one RTM is a part of. You're the best content creator. You're a great guy. Thank you, Jared. Did I see your messages? What, on Twitter? I haven't been on it in some time. I can take a look later, Minion. I don't know, Zach. I was planning next month, but because the airline tickets are so much, I don't know when I'll go now. It could be to a degree, Liskiff. Will it be harder in real life? The Russian occupation and freedom fighters or the North Korean takeover and home front? The revolution, which one seems more overwhelming? Well, probably the freedom fighters one, because it's like a superpower versus North Korea in a home front. I don't know if I remember that one, Gunner. I didn't cry, but I was a bit sad, Chase. But I guess I'll be going here, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you guys for watching the stream. If you enjoyed it, do drop a like. Check out the Zero Lore video we'll have tomorrow. And I will also have SOCOM 3 part up tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. See you on the next one. Take care, everyone, and have a wonderful day, guys.